What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Thespian coming at you with a new one, and today we have some Guilty Gear news. As everyone might know, we have the next Arc Revo World Final coming up in just about a month, and the big talk is that we are expecting to see the next character for Guilty Gear Strive. Well, yesterday we had a presentation over details of the finals, and they gave us a super huge blast from the past. I haven't seen one of these in a minute, and yeah, y'all probably seen it already. A silhouette for the next character. So in this video, I'm gonna break down who I believe is most likely to be added, give y'all three options starting from most to least likely, give y'all my reasoning for it, and see who it might be as the next character for season 3 of Strive. So let's go ahead and dive in. Before we do, guys, give this video a like, share, and subscribe. Help support the channel, and follow me on Twitch, where we're going to be breaking down the Guilty Gear news once Arc Revo hits, as well as covering all other fighting games. Twitch.tv/ThespianLive. ArcSys put out silhouette for the next character, basically teasing us who it might be. There's already some pretty obvious guesses who it might be, and just the fact that we have another silhouette picture is, yeah, definitely a throwback. The last time we have one, it's been a while. I think it's been more than a year. Usually these characters either get leaked or they just reveal them raw without any sort of anticipations. I dig it. I kind of miss them. As you can see here, it does have somewhat a distinct shape. Like, just from the first glance, I already thought of like two characters. The first character that I feel it might be is the most obvious, and that's gonna be Venom, one of the most requested characters. He's been missing in action for a minute. We have seen him in a couple of sections in Guilty Gear Strive story. I would consider him a fan favorite. He was probably one of the most used characters back in Exert. He was very good, and it's funny enough, a lot of people point out if it is gonna be Venom, we legit have all the Exert top tiers: Johnny, Elfeld, now Venom. And yeah, he's an OG character introduced back in Guilty Gear X, I believe. I mean, if you look at the image, it's more than likely going to be him. Like, the only clues we have here is, you know, the what I believe is the hair strand. He has like this weird pose on his left side. It could probably be him just, you know, measuring up his pool cue, getting ready to shoot a shot. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of no explanation needed. If you see the silhouette and this rendering of Venom, like, you can kind of tell it's gonna be him. Now, would he be a cool addition to Strive? I think so too. I think Venom's game plan back in Exit was pretty simple. You just shoot out the pool balls, you know, go for a mix. He'll be kind of similar to Jacko in a sense, where it's like you want to send out like the minion. So it's a set play character, and as I mentioned, he was pretty strong. A little bit of a technical character from what I'm remembering. I have never used Venom. I remember there wasn't too many of them, but a decent amount, and they were all very, very good. So I think he'd be a cool addition. I think his game plan can definitely fit in. Obviously, they'll change him up to be, you know, different from his original, like we've seen with all of the returning characters, and have some sort of simple mechanic, but I can basically see his overall game plan remaining the same. I think it's gonna be Venom more than likely. We still got two more. Entering at number 2 is my somewhat likely character, is your girl Abba, ABA, probably one of the most requested characters to come back. We haven't seen her in a hot minute. She's locked away in accent core hell, and yeah, it's not surprising why people say, again, it's that weird pose that the silhouette has on the left side. It looks like it's holding something huge, and Abba, she's got her big ass key. I think Abba is probably my personal most requested character. I think she would be a sick addition to Strive, and I think she's one of the few holdouts from the accent core era. I mean, we have Anji, Testament. There's not too many more characters from that era to add besides getting into like gimmick territory, or some characters, you know, for lore reasons or another, they wouldn't necessarily fit. Like Cliff is dead, Zappa, it's not possessed by ghosts, and also how do you add a character like Zappa, Order Soul, Robokai? Like, Abba is pretty much the only holdout. Like, Anji's in, Testament is in somehow. So I think Abba would be a sick addition. like I said, she's my personal most requested character. Her design already is sick. There's been a bunch of little fan mock-up art of her in like what could be her Strive design, and it's like I can only imagine how sick she would look. Gameplay, it's funny, it would kind of be similar to Rushdown, kind of like what Elfo has with her wacky Rekkas. Overall, I think would be a very welcoming change of pace. All my complaints for so far most of the DLC characters is like it's like some pseudo mid-range zoner with mix, and it's like y'all keep adding the same type of character over and over again. So her, if they make her OD Rushdown, I think that'd be a fresh change of pace. Again, my opinion, but Abba, I need her in this game somehow. If you're not gonna give me Order Soul, give me ABA. I think she'd be sick. And the final guess, this is my least likely option, and the only reason why I say least likely is because of the silhouette, and that's your girl Jam. If you were to ask me before this image came out, I think Jam was my most obvious answer of who would be added to a season 3 as the next character, either her or Slayer. But from this silhouette, if we're gonna take it at face value, it just doesn't seem like it could be her. I mean, I've seen some copium like with the little sleeve or something, but it's just like it does not look like a pose she might take. Like, you know, she's all about like martial arts. She's like very active pose. With Venom and Abba, you know, it looks like the silhouette is holding something, and unless Jam's about to use a weapon, I just don't think it's her. And again, she was a very obvious pick because, you know, she has some of her files in the game. We haven't seen her at all, and there was a couple characters like that, like Slayer was one of them, Johnny was one of them. Johnny is now in the game, but Slayer and Jam nowhere to be seen. I still think they'll add them at some point. I would have preferred it to be Slayer over Jam, personal opinion. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be her this time around. I guess she might close off season 3, or maybe Slayer, but we gotta worry about the third character. There's still chance, there's still hope. Obviously these silhouettes are pretty wonky. If you actually look back at the last time we saw it, it was actually for Happy Chaos. I even made a video about who could it be, because once we got the silhouette, I mean, it didn't look like any sort of character. And to my surprise, that like I made that video last minute before the character was released, and it did really good. And now that we knew it's Happy Chaos, I look back, it's like, oh, no wonder it did good, because we were all confused, because look at the render once it was revealed it's Happy Chaos. They finessed us. They legit changed the silhouette. They made it like super blocky. There's no hair details or anything. And actually looking at it, it kind of looked like it could have been Raven, because he's like hooded, he's cloaked up in his like cowl and everything. Don't be too reliant on the image, guys. There could definitely be some alterations to kind of throw us off or make it more of a mystery. These silhouettes, they're not like KOF silhouettes when they were revealing their cast, where it was kind of easy to guess who it was, but there was still that air of mystery. You're like looking at the image, it's like, oh, that's Benimaru. And then like a couple days would go by, it's like, is it Benimaru? It could be this or that. But for Strive, I kind of do imagine a scenario where, okay, the character they revealed looks nothing like the silhouette. Like the silhouette was just altered. That's why we just gotta take it at face value. It could be anyone once it gets revealed. We'll just have to wait and see who it is. But those are my picks, guys. I think more than likely it is going to be Venom, but I am rooting for Abba. Jam Boys, it's not looking good for your girl. Those are my picks, guys. Let me know down below, who do you think is going to get added? Do you agree with Venom, or do you got your own crazy pick? Like I said, don't take the silhouette too serious. They could be throwing us off a loop. We got a whole month to think about who it might be. Hopefully by the time we get to the Arc Rival Finals, there won't be a leak, but looking at the track record, we'll probably find out sooner than later. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I will see y'all on the next one. Take care.